Lucky links, lucky links. Here's what how you look down now, you yelling down there. Play your palm, you can't bite my foot. Crazy dog. Oh my fucking thing you gonna get away with? Come on. Come down to one young wiper smell. Wanks is oh, where did that hat set into this place? No, you didn't eat my headset again, did you? I got one. Good. You know it's to destroy. You destructed Italy. We've been given orders to sink warships. Some weird looking shit like that. I don't know what that thing could be. Ow, like I said, they disrespect now. My gangster kills like that. Fire them heavy set boys. There you go. Let them boys know who the heavy mountains are. Oh yeah, boy, we found the heavies today. Man, the Russians. Oh God, they missed him. Fire again at the Phoenix. Fire again at that communist. Crap. So name your guns over here, you communists. Okay, slow her speed. Dang. Ain't slow enough.
Enemy severely damaged. We're hull below the waterline. We're flooding quickly. Main turret critically damaged.
Communists, you don't pay for that, you communists.
Problem solved, sir.
Elsa, come back over here and face me. Elsa. Me, no destroyer coming to help you, my kind of rat. Just come behind the island. They ain't gonna destroy my kind of rat. I'm gonna destroy him. Over again, over to destroy this. Look at that communist. Crap. God darn it. Die, commie.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
Gotta kill this communist now. He must be sunk. Crap, stop aiming over here, you communists. Before it's over, the fact that he was sorting out. Oh, they sunk my warship. Maybe you can get to have war. This thing. Where my headset said it's a good crash. helps. I know it helps. Helps slow it down. I'll be back, okay? Following his watching I'm not firing that communist on the thing. Communist. That is so not be disrespected by the comments about it. You know he going to the family speed. We got that bow shipping on. Team, somebody shipping on, boys. Team.
Facebook, get things shared around the community, and the other girl is kind of trained in tracking and trapping. So the social media girl puts me in touch with the girl that does the tracking and trapping. Now, mind you, these girls do this 100% for free. One lady's a real estate agent. I'm not sure what the other one did or does, but they don't charge for any of this.
We go out and do this because there's not the resources for the government to do it.
She volunteers all over the county to find lost dogs, using a network on social media.
But there's a group of us. We all communicate.
And professional techniques to track and capture the dogs.
Trying to think like a dog and get some general sense about where he would most probably be hungry.
You know, I even had people from Instagram. If you guys know Beauty and the Diesel on Instagram, she came out. Her family came out. Just everybody, everybody converged on this one goal, and nobody was giving up until we found my dog. A day and a half had passed, and I've met with the girl a few times. We've been leaving a bed out with some food, and we're trying to leave a scent trail for the dog so he knows there's something comfortable in the area. And she kind of explained to me that dogs that have been in this traumatic situation, even their owners are going to be seen as dangerous or the enemy or whatever. She's like, you don't understand. You can see your dog, but after he's been in such a traumatic thing, there's a very, very high chance he won't come to you and he will run from you. So to me, at this point, like, okay, I'm listening to this lady. She does this, and we're hitting the streets, and we're trying to do whatever we can to find the dog. So I end up getting a phone call from a guy. Now we're on day 2 plus. And he says, hey man, I saw your dog. I saw him in a church. They have this little grassy field, and I saw your dog there yesterday. And I tried to approach him, and he started growling at me, barking at me, wouldn't let me get near him, and he started kind of walking away from me. Now my biggest thing is I have no clue what condition my dog is in. And I'm fearing the worst. You know, when we were hiking the canyons, I would see like a rolled up piece of carpet, but from, you know, couple thousand feet away, like, oh dude, is that him? Like, and my stomach hurt every single time we had to walk up to one of these falls. Is that him laying there in the bushes? So when this guy tells me, like, I'm like, dude, what condition did he look like he was in? He's like, dude, his back end looked bad. You know, it looked like he was struggling to walk and just didn't look good to me. I'm like, well, dude, we need to find him ASAP. It's good that we've had a sighting. It's good that we know he's alive. But if he's that badly hurt, we need to ramp up this whole operation. We need to find him ASAP. Now, mind you, this lead was 24 hours old. So I call up the lady who's helping me out with the tracking traffic. She says, all right, tonight I'm going to bring one of my big traps. We're going to set food. We're going to set everything. We're going to try and catch him in that location. And hopefully he's still around there. And we also agreed that I should go grab one of our other dogs and kind of take it around the area and leave us something familiar to my dog. So I go grab one of our other dogs, and I go to this church, and I start to, you know, full lap around the parking lot. I'm looking in every bush, looking behind every wall. I'm looking every place I can on this property for my dog, and I don't see him. And I said, okay, we'll do one more lap. Make sure we leave enough sense of our dog, leave some food, leave some water, and then we're gonna come back and set the trap. So I go do my final lap, and I'm like, all right. So I start walking back to the truck, and something told me to turn around. I don't know what, I don't know why. I had already walked the place twice, but something told me to turn around. And I turn around, and about, say, 20 yards behind me, Gunner is slowly creeping up, walking behind me, real slow, head down, hasn't made a noise. And at this point, you know, obviously from what the lady told me and knowing the dogs in traumatic situations, you can't just run up to him and be like, oh my god, dude, I found you. So I go tie the dog in half to a tree, and I just kind of get down, and I'm slowly trying to call him over, not getting too overly excited for him, and it took him a minute to come over to me. He was real skittish. He wasn't sure of me. It just took him a minute. But eventually I got him over to me. And I don't think you guys have ever, I don't know how to explain that sigh of relief.
Oh yes, we got.
That's my best friend. That was the one piece of this puzzle that I was missing. And I wasn't gonna feel whole until I found him. And so he comes over to me, and we have this big embrace, and I'm kind of checking him out. He's got some scrapes on his head, but he weirdly seems fine. So at this point, the lady that was gonna bring the trap, she's in the area. She runs over. She'd just been doing an interview with them. Now, mind you, this whole time, you know, I didn't want to be on the news. I didn't want the story to be about me. I just wanted my dog found. So these ladies stepped up. They did all the news interviews for me. They handled everything for me. So I'm not having to be out there and parading myself around. You know, I can be out in the field looking for my dog. So I throw my dog in the truck and we go straight to the vet. You know, I gotta make sure my boy's okay. And I explained to him what happened. You know, he got pitched out of the bed of my truck. in a rollover accident. And they're like, there's no way. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, there's no way he's as good as he is. Like, he's got a couple scrapes on his head. He looks a little bit sore in his hind area, but he's fine. And he's like, and how are you fine? And it's just the weirdest thing that both of us walked out of that whole situation. At that point, I don't care about the truck. We'll worry about the whole court situation that's going to be happening later. I got my dog back, and I could, like, it would have been a whole different situation if I didn't have my dog back. So to kind of fast forward this whole thing, and without giving too many personal details onto what happened with the drunk driver that hit me. The drunk driver that hit me had been drinking the entire day. The person in the passenger seat was soon to get married. The drunk driver got pretty jacked up. The guy in the passenger seat who was soon to be married is the one that didn't survive. The driver ended up pleading guilty to a plethora of charges, including vehicular manslaughter, DUI with great bodily injury, and a couple of other things. And the reason I haven't made this video is that whole thing's been undergoing for almost the entirety of the year. In fact, I think it was 3 weeks ago or so that the sentencing finally came down, which I would say was justice not really doing its part. He ended up getting probation. Not going to serve any time in jail for killing somebody, the possibility of killing me, and the possibility of killing my dog. So I don't think justice was served. But at the same time, I'm here. I'm doing videos for you guys. My dog is okay. So there's only, you gotta find the good in situations like this. And kind of the reason I wanted to make this video is also to kind of bring up this point. I got a lot of buddies that go out to the bar and they're well below the legal limit of drinking, and they're well below any of that. Up until the officers knew what was going on that night, obviously they don't know who caused the accident or who did what. So that's why I'm getting breathalyzed. That's why they're testing my blood. And had I had a sip of alcohol that night, regardless of whether the accident was my fault or not, we'd be having an entirely different conversation. Or we wouldn't be here at all. Because I'd probably be going down for something, regardless of whether or not the other guy blew through the red light, not me. And one of the reasons I wanted to make this video is to tell you guys, if you're gonna go out and drink, regardless of the amount, it is not worth getting behind the wheel at all. If you can afford a $10 drink out of the bar, you can afford the $15 Uber ride home. And if you can't afford that Uber ride home, you sure as hell can't afford that drink. Over the course of this whole court case and the whole everything, luckily I didn't have to go to court because he pled guilty. But I've gone through a crazy plethora of emotions from, being sad to just this intense anger. It's just, I've run the gamut of emotions. But one of the worst things about the whole situation is the lasting effects. I can't go through an intersection at night without having a flashback. It happens every single night. It also happens multiple times during the day. Intersections they're horrible for me now. And I'm not looking for any pity. I'm not looking for any of that. I'm just telling you guys, what it is. It sucks. Having those flashbacks is miserable. But what are you gonna do? I don't know how to delete that part out of my memory. So I guess I just have to ride that part out. But there's a couple of different ways you can take a situation like this. You can either let it just beat you into the ground and defeat you, and you just give up on everything you've ever aspired to, or ever, your dreams you've ever chased. Or you turn that around and you say, fuck that, dude, nothing's gonna stop me. You guys always see in my channel, I'm always supporting the police department, fire department, EMTs, first responders, our military. And that whole situation that I went through reaffirmed everything I've ever felt about all the people I just mentioned. The police officers I dealt with that night were amazing. They did an insane job of keeping me calm, of taking care of the situation, and I cannot say enough for the police officers that night. The fire department, same thing. The EMTs were all amazing. The doctors, the nurses, the surgeons, everybody at the hospital, everybody I dealt with that night treated me exceptionally well, made sure I was able to handle the situation as best that I could, and I cannot thank all of them enough, and that's why I support them. And one of the kind of crazy things about the situation is, aside obviously from my driver's side window, which was rolled down, all the other windows in the truck were busted out, except for the one window that had the American flag on it with a thin blue line decal on it. That was the one window that survived that entire ordeal, and a lot of police officers that night had made mention of it, and were actually thankful of me for having that on the vehicle. And you know, I could not thank them enough that night. And hopefully many of them are watching this video and remember that night. Obviously, I want to thank them for that. You know, one of the things I never did was look at videos or pictures of the truck, because to me it's kind of like if somebody, you know, beat up your wife or your girlfriend, like, are you going to want to go look at pictures of her all beat up? Like, no, I loved that truck. I don't want to see it beat up. I don't want to see any of that. So whatever footage you guys are seeing in this video, my first time seeing it since that happened a year ago is when I'm editing this video. So I want to thank you guys for sticking it out. You know, I know it took a minute to really get back with the BBB build and get quality content back on the channel, but I knew I had to persevere and keep pushing myself to put out better and better videos and more videos for you guys. So in the end, what happened to me was 110% preventable. Never should have happened. And, you know, to anybody listening, don't drink and drive. Somebody, the day of the incident, kind of commented on an old post that I had posted previously, where I had actually kind of spelled out my distaste for people that drink and drive. And it's been something I've been against for a very long time, because it is such a preventable thing. And, you know, if there's one thing you guys take away from this video, it's that, because, you know, that guy's decision screwed up a lot of people's lives that night. And I'm not just talking mine. You know, the police officers that had to see just how bad things were in their vehicle, the people that first showed up on the scene, just the bystanders and the witnesses that had to go over and see and help pull that lifeless body out of that other car. A lot of people's lives that night were affected in a horrible way because of one person's horrible decision. So I know this has been long. I wish I had the Cliff Notes version, but I wanted to spell out the entire situation for you guys, because I know it's been so long and so many of you guys have asked. So thank you guys for sticking out this super long video. And like I said, I'm not going to let a horrible situation ruin my dreams and my goals, and I'm going to continue to put out quality content for you guys. We've got the new truck build. We've got a lot of new cool stuff going. And thank you guys for coming along with this journey. I know this was definitely...
Oh, you can't be drinking behind me.
Hey, Chris, what are you doing, buddy?
Just enjoying this beautiful weather.
Oh, nice, nice. What's up and good morning, guys? Welcome back to another video. Chris, what are we doing today?
We're going shopping.
What are we going shopping for?
Rental property.
Oh, we're going shopping for rental property?
Yeah.
Or like a vacation home, or
Vacation home, you know. Maybe make some money out of it.
You buying?
Maybe.
Maybe.
2-for-1 special. You get multiple, you know.
I thought that only happens at massage parlors.
It's true.
So, today, guys, we're going to be heading to, well, they've got like they do a giant RV sale here from time to time. And if you guys have been fans of the channel for a while, if you've watched the channel for a while, you know, like, one of my biggest, or probably favorite things to do in the world, and I'm pretty sure Chris is in the same boat, is to go look at model homes, right, Chris? I mean, how many years have we spent just go looking at model homes? It's been Probably over the last 10 years or more, right? I mean, we used to walk in, you know, like when we were younger, and then, you know, you want to get taken a little bit seriously, but not too seriously to where, like, they try and sell you the place, you know? So, like, and then Chris would always be like, "Nah, man, we can't act like we're a couple. That's weird." And then I'd be like, "Yeah, but we got to make them think we can buy the place." And then it was a thing, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Why'd you always get so weird about that?
It's just weird.
So, anyways, I guess second best to that, or if not even better, is going to look at RVs. And, you know, everybody's been saying I need to buy a toy hauler. At one point, I wanted to live in a fifth wheel. I'll explain that in a little bit. But, you know, it never hurts to look. Let's go see what they got. And, you know, if we found the right deal, maybe we come home with a trailer.
You still want a mini home?
Do I still want a mini home?
Yeah.
I prefer a fifth wheel over
Yeah, I remember you wanted like a 150 square foot mini home.
That's true, and then I realized that's way too small. So at one point, what was it, like a year, 2 years ago? It was about 2 years ago. Kind of when the tiny home thing came out, I was like, you know, like I don't need a lot of stuff. I got my truck, I got my dog, I need a bed and a TV, and I'm happy. Like that's all I need in terms of like living. So I was like, I could totally go live in one of these tiny homes. So I started looking into it. And then I'm like, well, shoot, for the price of a tiny home, you can get yourself a 35-foot brand new luxury fifth wheel, and you'll be nicer, it's bigger, you got way better amenities. So at that point, I actually started looking and planning on moving into a fifth wheel. So at this point, I've owned my house for 10 years. So my plan was I'm going to rent my house out. I'm going to go live in a fifth wheel. Chris's mom actually had half an acre on her house, stayed on a half an acre. So I had her convinced at one point to let me keep the fifth wheel at her house.
And I think we were going to run power.
We were going to run power. We were going to run everything. I was going to kick her like, you know, $300 or $400 a month to let me keep the fifth wheel there. And then by the time you buy the fifth wheel, which, you know, they always MSRP for like 120 grand, and then trailers are crazy. You know, you walk out of there paying 60 for it.
And that 30-year loan, dude.
Yeah, right. I mean,
like $20.
Depending on how much you want to spend, they will give you, like, you can get, like, I think a 15 to a 30-year loan on an RV because you can classify it as, like, a second home. So if you want to keep your payments really, really cheap and live for really cheaply, it's not a bad route to go. But my only thing that really tied me down to the house was work for it. And work for it was, you know, we do all of our fulfillment out of the house. We store all of our inventory at the house. So that was, like, the one thing is I would need a fifth wheel, and I would need some type of garage or shop space to be able to handle.
Oh, you got the warehouse.
That's what I'm saying. Now I got the warehouse. Work for it's all self-contained. Dude, we get matching fifth wheels? We'll live side by side or what? Dude, we'll put a fifth wheel in the warehouse.
Oh, dude, that would be sick.
Right? Let's go, dude. We got to go to this RV show. Come on. Well, so that was a change of plans. We just had some idiot fucking merge into us.
To something.
Crap.
Hiding something. Everybody's got an angle.
Somebody got an angle out.
And
This is why you
everybody
put beds in where you go.
is guilty.
Mr. Mason, an unspeakable act has visited upon us. Why not leave it to the police? I don't trust the Los Angeles Police Department to do the job.
The way I see it, there's what's legal, and there's what's right.
That's your paint. Yeah, I mean, it's the biggest vehicle on the road. I don't know how you didn't see it.
Yeah, right.
You pushed this over pretty far. That was my big thing. It was your car.
Okay, I'm good. I don't know how I didn't see that.
Gotcha. Well, I have to say we were definitely not planning on that happening, huh, Chris? What a moron, dude. Seriously. I mean, I drive the biggest thing on the road. Like, how do you not see us? I guess he just thought he could shoot the gap in front of us and tried to merge right in front of us. You guys can see, this is why I run such big tires with big sidewalls. As far as I can see, there's absolutely zero damage on even my wheel. My wheel doesn't even have a scratch on it. There's just a little scuff on the tire itself. Obviously, his vehicle, not the same. He's got a nice patch of rubber down the side, but wow. What an idiot, dude. All right, well, now that we're off the side of the freeway, let's assess really what looks like the only damage is we've melted a little bit of rubber on the tires here where it rubbed on the side of his car. I mean, you can see we got some hard water on there from the sprinklers last night, but aside from that, the wheel is perfectly fine. It was just the sidewall of the tires, which is why I love running such a meatier sidewall tire versus stretching tires to where the wheel sticks out beyond the sidewall. And it's also the reason that I drive such a big, heavy lifted truck. That kid, he ended up merging right into us, into my front wheel here. I guess he thought he could, I don't know, make the gap. He said he didn't see us at all, but him doing that, literally all it does is it turned my wheel a little bit, and it kind of, I just felt him push us just over out of our lane a little bit, and we were in control the entire time, whereas if we were a similar sized vehicle or smaller, that little tap of him would have probably sent both of us spinning. So, hey, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
On that note, let's go find us an RV, dude. So back in the day, I used to have a Weekend Warrior FS 2500 toy hauler, and I think I sold that about 3 years ago. It was an 09. I bought it in 2007, and RVs kind of do this weird thing, or at least they used to back in the day, where they would always like predate it 2 years, whereas like, you know, in vehicles you could buy 2020 and 2019. RVs you could buy 2 years newer in that same model year. So I don't understand why they did that, but it made it really good for resale for people that didn't know that. So I ended up selling that 3 years ago because I just wasn't using it enough. But a lot of you guys have been saying, I need to get a Can-Am, I need to get something to go back out to the desert. Well, that's going to require not only buying the Can-Am, it's going to require buying a trailer. Chris is taking us to the fifth wheel toy haulers for some reason, even though Chris, I can't tow a fifth wheel with my truck, it's too tall. Oh, you're going to tow it, Chris? Well then, all right, how about this one? Thump here. That's fully laminated. Okay. It's actually a decent layout for toy haulers. So typically toy haulers and RVs in general are really stuck in a lot of similar floor plans. One thing I like about coming to look at these is you get to see who's really changing the game with different floor plans. Same thing with model homes. This one's actually a pretty nice setup. Normally they'll have like a weird seating setup like on this side, and the TV will be like on the side walls where you have to crook your neck. I mean, even this one, literally the seat that Chris is in is like the only good seat for viewing the TV, but it's got a nice feel to it. It's got a tiny bunk up above right there. I don't know who's gonna fit in there. It's like a coffin. No, thank you. Pretty small garage. I don't know. You might be able to fit a two-seater Can-Am in here. What do you think, Chris? Yeah, you fit a two-seater, huh?
No.
No, you don't think so? I like having the little separate table and chairs. These little carbon fiber plastic thingies are cute. Nice kitchen. For when Chris is cooking for us out in the desert. What are you gonna cook for us, Chris?
I'm just gonna go with Eddie, dude. All his cousins, they all cook also.
That's true. Eddie's group does eat very well. We'll come up the stairs here. We got it's a decent sized bathroom. So one thing with these bathrooms is Chris goes down in that shower, but you can barely make it through the doorway.
Oh boy, we're gonna lock him up in 10 seconds.
Oh, that's not a bad size for you, buddy. Check out the master bedroom here. Chris, is your
Hate that comment.
Yeah, babe, we don't want to buy this one.
Oh, sorry, like
master bedrooms. It's a decent size. I like the walk-around bed. It looks like a queen-size bed at best. I don't even know if that's a queen size. It looks smaller than a queen. It looks like an RV queen. I gotta say, I don't know. I'm feeling a little claustrophobic. But I mean, it is a toy hauler. So one thing with toy haulers is you sacrifice a lot of space, and you sacrifice a lot of weight. You add a ton of weight to be able to haul. Obviously something in the back. They have to beef up the frame rails. What's the price on this bad boy right here? $103,000, Chris. Can I interest you in this today for $103,000?
Charge it.
Charge it. So here we've got another Momentum. This is by Grand Design, and I'm actually a big fan of Grand Design's fifth wheels that they make. We'll go take a look at some of the actual like residential style fifth wheels here in a second. But this one's got a pretty slick patio that comes off the front, as well as obviously you can use the rear ramp as a patio like they've been doing on toy haulers for years. This is a huge unit here. We're going to walk in the garage. This one's got a good sized garage. I think for sure you'll fit at least a 2-seater, if not a 4-seater Can-Am in here. Little half bath, nice little living area, kitchen, and this is what I'm talking about with TVs and these things. So I guess most of you are probably thinking like, why are you going to the desert to watch TV? But it happens. What the?
Oh, you know.
What are you? I don't even want to know what's going on in here, dude.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You getting fancy with it? I like the.
We're filming another video.
Oh, is this your side job?
Yeah.
I like the furry pillows. What's up with this?
I don't know, but what's up with like this?
The corner toilet thing here?
Yeah, like.
Let me see, dude. Oh, you hit your knees?
This is weird.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about that.
But dude, this is some like gnarly airflow, dude. If you have to go to the bathroom, like
Right? You kick window open,
window open, fan on, dude.
Well, now we're stepping it up. Here's what we got: full body paint on this one. Nice. This one's like kind of a toy hauler, but it's not exactly. Whoa. We got front living room. This is one of my. Ow, dude. Why is the door so low?
Oh my God.
How'd you get in and not hit your head? So this one's a front living room design where typically the master bedroom would be up here in the front. I love these designs of fifth wheels. It just makes it so much roomier. So when I was looking for a fifth wheel that I was actually going to live in, and let me clarify a little bit on that because I don't think I did a good job in the intro of this video. By renting my house out, I would pocket over $1,000 a month with my mortgage and all the other bills being paid. So that I would roll into whatever the payment on the RV was and whatever I was paying for spot and electric. So at that point, I'm essentially either still pocketing a couple $100 by the end of the day, or I'm living for free while stacking money to go buy another property. So that was kind of my whole plan with that. But anyways, front living room was definitely on my list of RVs. Like I wanted a front living room or just something that had a big wide open field, because typically, you know, when you're going out and you're staying somewhere, you're not in the RV all the time. But if you're actually living in it full time, like now you want it to start to feel open and have like an open floor plan like a house. Like this one, overlook into the kitchen. You can actually see the TV from multiple different areas. It's got a decent sized kitchen, nice little like, I don't know, breakfast bar area here. You can swap a lot of these out for residential fridges and an RV fridge. Tons of storage. Chris is enjoying the bed back there. What about the bed? The bed that's 14 feet off the ground. So this one actually has, Chris is kind of walking to it. You can see you can't move around here right now. They kind of put the bed in an up position. So there's actually a garage underneath the bed. This one's like, it's technically a toy hauler. Here's the bathroom, just pretty similar to what we've been seeing. It's technically a toy hauler, but it's more so for the guy that's like full-time RVing and wants to bring his Harley or his golf cart with him. That's about as big as the garage space is on this one. Let's go show him the garage, Chris. Tons of underneath storage, TV, little outdoor cooktop, little mini fridge.
Set up another bed.
And then here's the garage. So obviously you can see the bed lowers down completely to about here, so it'll probably drop another, like, I don't know, probably drop that amount by half, but at best you're getting in here.
Dude, what the heck's that?
Something fart in there? Alright, well at most you can see you're going to get a Harley or a golf cart in here. So we're going to be moving in away from the toy haulers. Chris!
Yeah.
Chris, this isn't an RV for sale, buddy. Get out of there.
I want to buy this thing.
You're going to buy this one?
Yeah.
How is it?
It stinks.
How many slide outs does it have?
2.
2 slide outs?
Yeah.
I don't think I want to know what slides out in this thing. Now, obviously, we just looked at the fifth wheel toy haulers, and it's not realistic for my truck setup. It's too tall to tow a fifth wheel. So, more so, if we're going to be looking at a toy hauler, it's going to have to be a bumper pull. So, if I were to do it, I learned on my last one, just go big, get the nicest one you can get. This iconic by Attitude over here, triple axle. Let's see, what is the length on this one? I'm guessing it's a 30-footer. All right, we got a decent little kitchen. There's a little peninsula coming out. My problem with toy haulers is not much has changed from about that wall back. I mean, they'll tweak the kitchen just a little bit, but it's usually bench seat on one side, cabin chairs on the other, 2 beds that come down, and bedroom. And they've been like that forever in the bumper pull segment of trailers. So I've been really like, I don't want to buy the same trailer that I used to own. You know, I'm hoping somebody at some point, I don't know what I'm looking for, but I'm hoping somebody revolutionizes bumper pull toy haulers, because it's just too much of the same stuff. They've been putting out the same floor plans for so many years. How's that front bedroom, Chris? I mean, it's not bad. Now, mind you, like, if you sleep in a tent and then you move up to one of these, like, it's a heck of an improvement. But coming from, like, your house to sleeping in here, not my cup of tea. No, it's got a decent-sized bathroom. The shower looks pretty tight. That's a tight squeeze right there. Oh, yeah, all right, shower, Chris. You're dead. Oh. Yeah, you look like a trapped friggin' grizzly bear, dude. So what I do like about toy haulers is they always come, well, most of them, unless you get like the real budget, lower end ones, always come with a built-in generator, which is nice because most of us, we dry camp, whereas it seems like anybody that has like the bigger, nicer luxury fifth wheels, they only go to like RV parks that have hookups. So none of those have even a spot. Well, most of them don't have a spot for a generator. Toy haulers always either have a spot or come with them. What's the price on this one, Chris? $72,000.
On sale for $23,000.
Probably. So I was walking by this trailer a minute ago and I saw this little slide out in the front here and I thought that was an odd placement, so I had to go look inside. And this is actually a really kind of cool setup for those of you guys that are limited to a smaller, lighter weight toy hauler. I don't know what the weight on this one is, but it's a 24-foot trailer, I'm guessing, by the model number. And it's got a little bit of a unique layout. And it comes with a Chris, so may or may not be half-ton towable. I'm not sure. It depends on Chris's... well, Chris loses some weight, so you're good, buddy. So it's pretty compact in the living area. Obviously, you've got your cabinet chairs, you got your dinette in the back, your queen-size bed that comes down. This is obviously also folds out into a queen-size bed when you're done. But in the front is where it gets a little bit...
State Farm is announcing the Good Neighbor Relief Program. Click to learn more.
Unique. You got a pretty small TV, but you know, some of you may or may not care about that. And then you got a Pasco here with Chris. Coming down this side is you got 2 entrances to the bathroom. One from right outside the door, which is pretty nice. You're not tracking stuff through the trailer. Decent sized shower, tiny sink. Looks like you got enough legroom for the toilet here. Then we come in to the bedroom. Hey, Chris. And now you see where that front slide out was, and that is for the entire, what I'm assuming would be, once again, like an RV-sized queen bed. Looks like you actually got a shoe rack underneath and some decent-sized storage there. And then you got a nice little weirdly kinked mirror here, a little wardrobe, which is, you know, pretty nice. You don't see that too often. Some sweets. I don't know even what this panel is, but it looks nice. Little medicine cabinet. Oh, actually, that's pretty big storage in there. Chris, why are you closing us in here, dude? I need my whistle. All right, we found it. Dry weight is 7,400 pounds. So no, this is not a light trailer, and I think you factor in another 2,000 pounds of cargo capacity. So you're sitting at a 9,000 pound trailer, which is decently heavy. Here's a perfect example of toy hauler TV placement. Like, who's gonna watch it up there? The chair is facing this way. That chair is facing, like, maybe this guy can kind of see it if he, like, rocks back in the chair just enough. Where would I put the TV?
Where would you put the TV?
I changed the whole layout. They screw themselves by making these layouts. You can't put the TV anywhere. And this one's sitting very unlevel right now, which kind of in the same way that I get dizzy when other people drive me. I get dizzy being in RVs that are not level. That's what I'm talking about right here, buddy. Oh, this is more your style, Chris?
My style.
Yeah? Now, is this more your budget?
This is my budget.
Oh, yeah? Take a picture. We're gonna go look at it.
I mean, we can get
obviously, if you're gonna go diesel pusher, you gotta go dual rear axle, right? Like that's true with the big boys.
Yep.
Dude, look at the exhaust tip on this one. That's got Chris written all over. That matches the Mercedes. That's true. Look at that, dude. Why does it stick out so far? That's the most gaudy exhaust tip I've ever seen. So as you can hear, the big diesel pushers like this come obviously with generators. And I guess if you're gonna be stepping up into the price range of these things, they turn the air conditioning on for you. So it is actually really hot today. But these things just open up massive inside of them. They're also insanely expensive, but they are no doubt how beautiful these are. Oh, hey Chris.
Right?
Hey man, I like what you've done with the place. You got a nice house. Hey, Chris, home is whenever I'm with you.
What do you think, man?
That's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I gotta say, I like the finishes. They always get a little gaudy sometimes with these ceiling panels on this thing. I don't really like these ones, but I like that the air conditioning works, and it works really well. And I do like how open they are, but these are really for like 2 people to live in. And even then, like, obviously, number one, this is way out of my price range. But number two, I wouldn't want to buy a motorhome because then you're paying for the motor as well, and like the chassis and the whole steering setup, and you're paying for all that stuff that we don't need. So I wouldn't spend the $530,000 that this thing costs. Nice little half bath here in the hallway. I like how wide everything is, like wide and open the hallways are, right? Some space in here. Check out this thing, man. And we got a little powered glide bed. You can sit up, look, a TV in a spot that makes sense, right? You can sit up in your bed. It's a good sized bedroom. Oh man, how do we fold the bed down? Uh-oh. Oh. Uh-oh. I think shut the generator off. Uh-oh. Don't hit that button that says off. That turns the generator off. It doesn't move the bed. Oh, we got found the bed controls. Try it out, Chris.
Oh, I got some.
I feel like I gotta wear this when I get coffee.
Right? Now we're talking, Chris. Now you look like you own this place. You go to the golf course later?
I am.
Gonna go hit the back nine? Alright, but in all seriousness, how do we turn this generator back on? Let's see. There we go. Sweet. Let's check this one out, Chris. Let's get back to kind of our plan here, buddy. So obviously, really the main reason we're here, or I even came looking at RVs recently, was for something to live in. So that's going to put us more in just the standard, like residential-ish style fifth wheel. So here we're in essentially a similar layout to their toy hauler version of this, but you can see now they put a front window up front, which is nice, makes it much more open and much more residential feeling. You've got, once again, you know, the sweet layout. TV comes out from behind the fireplace. Decent sized kitchen. I'm not too concerned about kitchen size. I mean, we don't really cook that often. More so as important is a nice dining set, which this one obviously has. Over here, we've got a, you know, decent sized pantry, pretty deep actually. And then they even have a half bath right off the kitchen, which is a nice touch to keep people from having to go into the master bath, which is back here. This is the master bedroom. And this looks to be like a king-size bed. I would need a little bit bigger of a TV, but back here is where this one kind of shines. It's got a really nice-sized master bathroom. We got double sink vanity over here. An okay-sized shower. I don't think it's very shoulder width. It's not that bad actually. Shoulder width-wise. Go store in here. Jeez, the other door came with it. Well, okay. You'll be bumping some elbows in here trying to shower, but yeah, it's actually a really nice unit. What do we got in here? Is it a closet? See, I mean, that would make it tough. It's got washer dryer hookups, so you're truly full timing in this thing, but then you really lose a lot of your closet. They have combo units where it's one unit is a washer and a dryer, so you can stack it down there and you can still have some space up above to hang your stuff, but looks like to be the, I would say, an RV-ish king, which is closer more to like a regular sized queen bed from what I'm looking at. But all in all, this is actually not a bad unit. I like how the bedroom in the back also steps up from the lower living area, similar to the front. And then I believe underneath us there's actually some good sized storage. But let's go check out another unit. This one's not bad. What is the price of this one? Where's the price sheet? Somebody stole the price sheet out. Was $105,000. Now they're offering it for $85,000. So this model by Grand Design, the ST37-3FB. This is more your typical residential style fifth wheel layout, to where it's kitchen, a little bit of dining area in the back. It's more of one big room. And then you have obviously your front bedroom, front bathroom. I don't really like the style. You do get a decent sized bedroom in this one, and a decent sized bathroom, which actually looks like it's actually got a big closet in the front as well. It's actually a really good sized closet. They did a nice job there, and you have a spot for stackable washer and dryer without losing a lot of your closet space. This one's not bad from the bedroom forward. I just don't, for some reason, like having this area, kind of the same way toy haulers have been building.
There you go,
Like the
boys.
kitchen backs the same way. A lot of fifth wheel manufacturers have been making them similar to this for so many years. I like seeing something different.
I think we have a shot.
And speaking of different, this one here, we're in another Solitude by Grand Design. This one actually has a raised rear living room, and I actually like this setup as well. It kind of separates the kitchen area from the living area, and you basically get what we would normally be putting in the front that we've seen in the previous models. They put it in the rear, and it allows for a few more windows than you typically get in the front, and you retain some of the features that you get when you have a front bedroom, like the closet that they just had in the one we just looked at, and a little bit bigger of a bedroom area. So now we're switching up manufacturers. We made our way into a Montana, which also makes fifth wheels that I like. With the other ones we were in was Grand Design. So between Montana and Grand Design, that would be definitely one of my two picks. This one's another front living area, which you're gonna see is kind of similar. Montana puts really big front windows up there, which I like. Another decent sized kitchen with a half bath. I don't know well, I guess I like the half bath kitchen. Coming back up in here into the master bedroom. Bed looks a little bit low, but it's a decent size. Not a whole lot of room to walk around it, but you get a good sized closet. So this one's obviously a rear bedroom. Chris is in here breaking stuff with the fans. Not a bad sized bathroom. Cheap this is. Feels cheap. It's like plastic. That's the only thing I don't like about the RV industry. Is like the pictures and everything is so cheap. Like, you're already charging $100 grand for this unit. Put some like $60 faucets in here. TV is a little small, but you know we can just mount one on the outside of this auction.
Wait, is it though?
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
They want $103,000 for this one, but we can get it for $80. What do you think? We offer them 40?
Nah, I can find a better one.
Oh, okay. Let's go find a better one. What do you think about this one, Chris?
That's what I'm talking about.
Where you?
Like, how do you open it? But like,
Oh, just kick the door open.
just kick it open, dude.
That's an odd bathroom setup. You walk in.
No, that's really not though.
So this is obviously a bunkhouse setup. This whole back room area over here is dedicated to 50 beds. This is what happens when you screw up and you have too many kids. You have to buy one of these. Chris, do you want to talk about all the kids you have in Tijuana?
No.
So as a contractor, this is the stuff that drives me nuts. Like just leaving unfinished ends on things like this. When this bed comes down, I mean, it's not gonna hide that. Let's see here. How you do one like, you still see the unfinished ends. Now you guys are probably saying, Rhino, why are you looking at fifth wheels? You just said you couldn't get a fifth wheel toy hauler. And the main reason being, obviously, is if we were going to be living in this thing, I would obviously just pay somebody to move it and place it for me in a spot that I would plan on living on it. And then if we needed to move it, we would just pay the fees to have somebody move it because, you know, obviously I'm not going to buy a whole new truck just to be able to pull the fifth wheel if we never plan on really moving it. It's just going to be something that we would permanently be living in until, you know, we generated enough funds to purchase another house, and then we'd live in that for a while, and then eventually do the same thing to where we would rent out the one that I had there, and then move on to a third house and a fourth house, and pretty much repeat. All right, well, guys, with that, we're going to wrap up this video. But yeah, seeing all of these RVs really did start to kind of spark that thought.
America first. America first.
Now you gotta have some nuts, people. Hello. How y'all doing today? How you gonna get some nuts? No, you can't have no nuts now. You know, I think you might be allergic to nuts. I don't know. I'm sure I ain't give you no nuts, buddy. Look. Candy. You can have on here, cry. Alright. I think I left my drinking over him. Yeah. No. You know you can go out if you can go wind that kid and go sniff that floor. No. No. Oh my God. Get your nose, man. Get your butt, man. Alright. Those are hot nuts, y'all. People. Alright. Arkansas. Like, you know you can't have nuts. Let me get some nuts on your heads. Like, not girl, so sit down, man. You can't have no nuts. You know you don't only think your dog can eat nuts. If they could, it'd be a different story. We not have a allergic reaction. I can't give you no nuts now. Hang on. There we go. Put that distraction. I made my fingers. Okay, here we go. There go me a sucker right there, boys. She asked to be sunk. He don't even know about aim at here, but he got some problems. Oh yes, boys. There we go. That's what killed my Conrad. Got much more to go. Arkansas, yes. I have an appointment with that Arkansas. And that Japanese battleship. Really? You got it. I didn't hit. Right, fine. Look, console. Shit. God, Jesus Christ. This is why we ain't gonna have no food around here. There we go. There we go, boy. Ah, that was okay. It was the greatest hit. Yeah, I did. I'll cry he aiming back over here. Right now he can't aim that good. Can't let that communist escape. Darn it. Okay, let's see how. Ooh, Jim. Too bad he ain't close enough. I would have aimed at him. Take that, Arkansas. I admit people out. I got perception and I got nut palm boys. That comedy screwed me over. He gonna pay for that.
Problem solved, sir.
Jesus Christ, much in it took on the Arkansas. But no maps.
The ship is on fire.
But the Arkansas must die. Oh God, come on, I can at least save the ship. We got to be able to save her. Oh my God, we might have. God damn, I thought we had a shot there. Too bad, lucky if you can't be in there. Okay. Well. It was a close one, that one. And it's lucky I almost got near them boys. Now I'm passing this dog. Oh God. Go assassin. I see you back, my comrade. Look. There's no more food here, my comrade. I feel like that, you know, my comrade. What are you doing? What are you doing? You smell pistachio. No, nut sound. What are you doing? What are you doing? You smell pistachio. No, nut sound. What are you doing? What are you doing? You smell pistachio. No, nut sound. What are you doing? Alright, so let's get. Alright. Let's see how this gonna go. Hello, everybody. Let's run down quickly. Look. How you doing, pimp? Okay. Let's see. Let's see how this. I hate to say this, man. You one knows it and all. You one knows it must know, so you should be proud of yourself. About a hollow donut in there. Good dog again. Okay. Okay, so come up here, my heart. Look. Come here, look. Oh, look at me.
Teammate, I need your support.
I got time to guns, time to guns.
Torpedo to starboard. Concentrate fire on designated target. direct front.
He screwed Jess up just now. And they said when he knew he screwed up.
The ship is on fire. Torpedoes, direct front. Torpedoes, direct front. Problem solved, sir. Torpedoes, dead ahead. Hull breeze, we're taking on water quickly.
Take him out. Alright, check him out. Alright, like, no, you ain't going in that kitchen. I think you want to go in that kitchen. You have to go. You go in that kitchen. You be a peasant. You want to be a peasant, Lucky? You want to be a peasant? You want to be a peasant? Hey, sit, stretch, stretch. You know what I'm saying? Now. No, So, straight.